Hey guys, welcome back. I'm starting this one right after the last one. So we are into chapter 5. Now, in this one here, we do see here that Jack has just woken up and we're going to see what's going on. He just got through explaining his past where he gave into his vulnerability and even slept with Anna. Though he says he doesn't feel guilty about it because he felt like he was just watching himself through himself. In other words, he was so vacant of life, he was just living on autopilot, essentially. Now, whether he should feel guilty about it or not, that can be your own thought process here. I'm not really going to say too much about it. Again, I know each person goes through their own struggles. And he thinks that Grace really left him. He doesn't think that Grace was taken at this point. So I'll see if we figure out exactly how she gets taken and what happens. Anyhow, let's carry on from where we are. Incredibly dark. It didn't matter if my eyes were open or closed. The image didn't change. Something wasn't right. The air smelled different. Grace made a soft moaning sound in her sleep. She lay next to me. I reached down to make absolutely sure she was here. Jack. To hear her voice instead was like finding a snake in my bed. I almost fell over a nightstand. Are you okay? Bad dream? Stay. She touched me, skin against skin. I remembered where I was and why I was here. Better? Yeah, sorry about that. Good. I settled back onto my side of the bed. Anna ruffled my hair. You startled me. Oh. That's a, yeah, she started to show her, like, Yandere type faces. That kind of smile with a, yeah, I didn't mean to. It's okay. I know you wouldn't do that. Because you love me. Oh. Oh. Dear Diary. It's all been worth it. All the years of waiting and hoping have been so worth it. I never expected to go as well as it did. Now I feel so silly I ever worried. Grace, the whore, is out of the picture. It was so easy. She is so scared of everything. And Jack is all mine. I expected he would struggle a lot more. I'm so proud of him. Even in the terrible state he's in, no memories of us at all. He knew in his heart he should pick me over her. You're so cute, Jack. The way you're absolutely helpless without me. I'll pamper you a little more. I can do that. There's no hurry. There's no rush. We've reached our happy ending. I paced around Anna's bedroom. Step, 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 turn. Step, 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 turn. It wasn't a very large room, about the same size as mine, and step, 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 turn. It was dark, the curtains were drawn, but it would have been dark without them too. The alarm clock's neon green digits hovering in the dark showed that it was around 5:10 a.m. and that it was Monday. Step, step, step. Anna's bed sheets rustled. She mumbled something and sat up. Jack, why are you... I took in a deep breath and helped me keep my voice from shaking as I answered. It's nothing. Go back to sleep. And what is it? Something is wrong, isn't it? Tell me. I'll make it go away. No, please. It's stupid. Tell me. I stepped closer to the bed, banged my shin on its side and sighed. It's Monday. And I glanced over my shoulder at the alarm clock. Yep, it is. So, I have work. When I came back to an empty apartment, it was early Friday morning. I'd missed work on Friday. I must be so thin, I must be on thin ice already. I didn't even call in. And just don't go. But if I don't go today, they'll fire me for sure. So? What do you mean, so? This is serious. Don't be upset here. Anna got up lazily and kissed me and held me. We stood there a few moments in silence. There, doesn't it all seem better now? But I still... Uh-huh. No, sweetie. You stay in today. She pressed herself harder against me. I felt her softness, the heat of her body. I could hardly feel anything else. You don't want to go to work, do you? I don't, but... I mean, I have to. You don't have to. It'll be fine. The world won't end. I was going to complain again, but she pressed her finger to my lips. You know what? An idea just came to me. If you move out of that awful apartment and come live with me instead, you won't have to work that awful store anymore, either. That sounds nice, doesn't it? It sounded good, and understood me so well. But I wasn't sure of myself. I asked if it was really fine for me to stay here, for good. Hey guys, if, any Andres want to take care of me, if you're not going to murder my family or friends, I'll be loyal to you, don't worry. You want to take care of me, make it so I don't have to work anymore? That's all good with me, alright? I mean, I'm here, alright? Just reach out, it's all good. It's all good. I'm pretty sure most people in my comments would feel the same, so let's go. But I wasn't sure of myself. I asked if it was really fine for me to stay here for good. Of course. I wouldn't want you anywhere else. Dear Diary. Oh my god, oh goodness. How's it going so well? It never worked so well before. Not with the patients I tried it on. Even though they were terminal. Even though they had no one to visit them. All of them kept being themselves right up until the end. But with Jack, I can do anything. He is like clay. I could change him into anyone, anything I want. How awful. He's so lucky that it's me doing this. Can you imagine someone else with this kind of responsibility? Oh, well. She's not loyal. Apparently she's done it with everyone else in there too. That's a little concerning. Well, everything else is concerning as well. But, that's... yeah. No. What am I saying? Nobody else could make him so willing to change. Me only. Me. He's only like this because he loves me so much. He's always loved me, even when he didn't realize it. And he'll always love me, and always love me. And we'll be together forever, forever. I'm so happy I could scream. Right now, I'm only teasing him a little. But that's okay. We all have the time. We have all the time in the world. Unlike those other boys, he's not about to expire. Okay, lady. Days went by, maybe a week. Jack? Come on, Jack. A laugh. If you don't let go of me, I can't go to work, you know. Then don't go. Stay here. Hey, one of us has to go. We need to live. I need you to live. That's very sweet, but I still have to go. I wouldn't budge. She ran her fingers through my hair. I like that. If you get off me now, I promise I'll have a special surprise for you when I get back. Really? Really, I promise. Okay. I forced myself to let her go. After she went away, I lay back down on the bed. I waited for her to come back. I did nothing else. Wow. He really is in that kind of state, isn't he? And a surprise was a big plastic bag. It was swollen, full of something. I looked at her, then at it, then at her again, and frowned. You'll see. Come, we need to go somewhere. Go outside? I'm wondering how she, flubs this up. Does she get, so arrogant and, her control over him that she shows him grace or something? Anna, are you that crazy? Are you that crazy? Well, I mean, yeah, probably. Probably. Yes. Isn't that exciting? I looked away. What? You don't want to? I held up a pillow in front of me. It was meant to act as a barrier. Oh, you big scaredy cat. Come on. She took my arm and pulled. I wouldn't go. Her grip was strong, or maybe I'd gotten weak, but I stayed in place. Huh? So you really don't want to go? How come we can't just stay here? Oh, sweetie. I don't want the apartment to burn down. She made me dress she made me dress in outside clothes. They were rugged and cold. The outside was even more rugged and cold. The street was wet. It must have rained. The people there were giving me looks. They were looking at me like I was trash. What had I done to them? What had I ever done to anyone? Oh, hey. Ease up a little. You'll hurt my hands. I'm sorry. That's okay. If you really don't feel like it, we can go back home right now. Really? Yes. But I know you can do this. So will you do it? For me? Yeah, okay. Great! Thank you, Jack. You're so good to me. Oh dear. We walked for over 15 minutes. My feet hurt, and my legs made clicking sounds. I hadn't really walked in over a week, but I didn't complain. We're almost there. Do you know where we are? I shook my head. Anna had led me somewhere I'd never been. Each street we passed was dirtier and grayer and more abandoned than the last, and the people looked at us all the more meanly. I thought they were going to hurt us, but Anna wasn't afraid, so I did my best to be brave too. Whatever she had in the plastic bag, it wasn't heavy. The bag was so full it almost the shape of a big ball, but it still swung so lightly. What do you think is in here? Anna had noticed me looking. I don't know. Want to take a guess? I didn't, I told her. I didn't. I told her I couldn't think of anything. Oh well, you'll see soon enough. Our destination I saw 5 minutes later, was an empty street. A whole street, blocks and blocks of it, completely abandoned. The pavement was cracked, and the buildings that still stood were hollow, and everything was overgrown with weeds. It was more of a jungle than a city street. It was ugly. I hated to even look at it. Isn't it so beautiful? Yeah. I'll show you the best spot here. It's my favorite. But it'll be our secret, okay? You can't tell anyone else. Okay. No, that's the intro scene, isn't it? We passed through a tunnel-like opening set in a tall, wide building. Beyond it was a field of brown-yellow grass. It came up to my chest. Surrounding the grass were sides of a large apartment building. This used to be its courtyard. The building was a mottled, ugly gray. It had most likely been a prettier color before it burned down. It had so many windows, none of them which had glass in them. They gaped down at us, empty and dark. Anna's spot was a square patch of concrete in the middle of the overgrown courtyard. Once there, Anna handed me something from the plastic bag. Sorry, I keep clicking the right button. It was a small gas canister and a box of matches. Then she emptied the rest of a bag on the concrete, which I saw was the contents. My chest tightened and started to hurt. Anna, this is... On the ground were a few post-it notes, a pair of shoes, but mostly clothes. I had seen them before. They had belonged to someone I knew. Who? Someone I had known an eternity ago, too long ago to remember. He couldn't remember Grace? But I knew these things were important. Or were they someone from before? I thought they were Grace's, but they could be someone from before. I'm pretty sure it's Grace, though, given that they said post-it notes, which they started before. You know what this is? Yes. I shouldn't? It's fine if you still recognize them. Completely fine. You're not mad? I'm not mad. Give me that. And I grabbed the gas canister from my hand. She poured the gas out onto the clothes and shoes and post-it notes, down to the last drop. Then she tossed the canister aside and stepped away. The canister made a tiny, empty sound as it hit the concrete. Tunk tunk. After that, there was a silence. Anna, should I? What do you think you should do? Are you really not mad? Do you think you need to do? What do you think you need to do, Jack? And do it quick. It's growing dark, and I didn't bring a flashlight. So I did what I thought I needed to do. I lit a match. It took me 3 tries to get it right, because of my clumsy fingers. So it looks like, yeah, she's completely brainwashed him. Cradling the little fire with my hands, I brought it over her things. They were wet and stank of gasoline. I held the lit match above them. Why are you hesitating? Don't you want to do this? I don't know. I needed to do what Anna wanted me to do, but the thought of doing it made me want to lie down and cry. I couldn't explain why those things were so dear to me. They just were. The flame had almost reached my fingers. And I don't think... Do it! I dropped the match. The little fire touched gasoline and bloomed. The sudden heat made me step back. Those things, those shoes and clothes, and little yellow notes were already crackling and turning into charcoal. Anna stood by me. I waited for her to scold me, but she didn't. She put her hand in mine, our fingers interlocked. You did well. I did. Yes. When it came down to it, you did what you should. I'm proud of you. I won't fill my chest. My worry for those scattered pieces of nothing on the ground faded away. I was with the love of my life, and she loved me, and was proud of me. How could I care about some... Alright, so he's become a dog now? Okay. I couldn't even remember what it had been anymore. Old clothes? Whatever. Anna giggled. Sorry, I can't do a female laugh like that. It made me so glad to see Anna so happy. I don't know if she's actually laughing like a maniac like that, but it seemed like it, so it seemed appropriate. It seemed like an opportunity to do my crazy laugh. I just hope my gain isn't turned up so loud that it breaks your guys' ears. I do apologize if it did. I apologize. It made me so glad to see Anna happy. I pulled her closer. After a good minute of laughing, she sighed as if spent and looked up at me. Wasn't that fun? Yep. The things on the ground had already gone out. They were black and unrecognizable. Let's go back home. Okay, Anna. You're so happy, aren't you? And why wouldn't you be? I'm happy too. The happiest I've ever been. Me too. The happiest I've been. Ever been, sorry. Really? Yep. Thank you, Jack. That means the world to me. We went away hand in hand. But before we walked out into the grass again, I looked back one last time at the things I had burned. Something moved at the edge of my vision, in one of the glassless windows. I looked again, but it was gone. This place is dangerous. Are there people here? You know what? There just might be. Bad people we should get home as soon as we can. Yes, home, where it's safe. That little slut. I hope she had a good look at us burning all of the trash of hers. At Jack burning it. God, I'm so proud of him, it hurts. I can't believe I miscalculated, though. I thought Grace was gone for good. But then, there she was, in our hallway, asking where Jack was, and what I had done with him. All this while, Jack was right on the other side of the door. So wait, did she actually just convince her to leave and not actually take her away that time? Okay. Can you imagine what it would have happened if I wasn't there? She would have knocked on the door and rung the doorbell, and she would have probably called out too. It would have scared Jack so badly, I can't bear to think about it. Thankfully, I wasn't wrong about everything to do with her. She hasn't called the police. I knew she wouldn't. I just didn't think she'd come back at all. She was still as scared as a little lamb. Her hand shook while she demanded I tell her what happened to Jack. He can't be in there, can he? She stepped forward, but when I put myself between the door and her, she backed off again. I wonder how she didn't pee herself, she was so scared. Jack doesn't want to see you. What are you doing to him? No one's seen him since I went away. It's like he's disappeared. He's been here the whole time. God, what are you doing to him? Be quiet. She was making so much noise. I put a hand on her shoulder. I had to see if she had the guts to slap it away. She just stood there. Jack is perfectly fine. He's happy, and he doesn't want to see you again. I know he probably hates me now, but at least let me see him. I have to at least see him again. So annoying. Loneliness has made her desperate, unpleasant. That's what being by yourself does. Look at dear Jack. We've only been together again for a short while, and he's already such a sweetheart. And he was so prickly before. If you see him now, he'll tell you he hates you. Do you really want that? No, I don't want that, but... Then go away. It's as simple as that, don't you think? Even someone like you should understand. Why are you so... I thought we were... She swallowed hard. I have to see him. Anna, please. Being alone made you into a real bitch, you know that? What? Or did it? Were you lonely after all? It really makes me wonder. With how little money you took with you, I was sure you'd be living on the streets. But you're clean. You don't smell, more than usual. I'm living with a friend. What does it matter? That's a lie. You don't have any friends. Grace gritted her teeth and glared at me. She wanted to run away in shame. She's so simple, so obvious. But she couldn't leave with Jack so close. So, where are you staying? Whose cock are you sucking for rent? I'm not. Is that wrinkly old man you worked with? It's nothing like that. I'm living with Dawn, but I'm not. Oh, aren't you? Then how are you planning on paying back for his hospitality? You don't have any money. You quit your job too. I checked. I'm not paying back anything. Don't be shy. Oh, screw you. Move. How violent. It's a good thing I separated her and Jack when I did. Any more of this girl's influence, and who knows what could have happened. She tried to shove past me, but I had a little surprise in my pocket. Anna, that's... Yep. So don't you dare touch me again. I might do something bad. I pressed the knife against the side of her neck. It drew blood. I couldn't help myself, but it wasn't a lot. I'm not going to kill someone out in the open like that. I'm not stupid. Grace stood petrified. You You can't do this. You'll call the cops? No, you won't. They won't believe you. They never do. Right? She didn't lash out for once. She must have finally realized how useless it was to try. So she shuffled away. I waved her off. It's only polite. She didn't even look back. But then she kept following me around even after that. What a stalker. So I had Jack burn her things. I know she was watching. It was beautiful. Now she'll back off for good. I'm back. Welcome back. Hey, easy, you'll trip. The moment she touched me, those long hours of waiting were painted over by warmth. It made me so happy. Something smells good. Is it dinner? Yes. Oh, you remembered. I'm so glad. I'd made a casserole. Anna set the table and I served it. That really was tasty, Jack. Thank you. I wasn't happy with the meal. It was tasteless. And the meat was tough. But Anna said she liked it. She was so kind. I wish I could help more. What do you mean? With money, I guess. I was being serious, but she laughed. That made me feel a bit stupid. Oh, Jack, money's no problem at all. I told you already. I've got a lot saved up. And the rent here is nothing. Oh, okay. Anna hummed contentedly. A minute later, she stopped. There's something you can do, actually. Really? Yes, really. But I'm not sure if you'd be up for it. Anything. I'll do anything for you. Okay, then. What is it? How can I help? Wait, until before bedtime, okay? I nodded. She's gonna show him grace, and that's gonna totally throw things off, isn't it? Because there has to be some point where he sees Grace, and that's going to throw the scene. Though, I am wondering how far this chapter will go. I wonder if it's going to cover the whole part until that happens. When I heard what she wanted me to do, I didn't take it well. I was angry, furious. I felt betrayed. You want me to... Yes, do it. Yes, I do. But no! You said I'd never have to remember anything. You promised! I got up from the bed and started pacing from the wall to wall, never looking at Anna. What she said hurt. How could you lie like that? Oh, baby. And by the way, yes, I am giving him a juvenile voice intentionally because I think that's Sadie's end. He's in like a juvenile kind of state. His mind has regressed. Please don't hate me. I was shivering with anger. I thought I might faint, but I didn't hate her. I couldn't. So I walked and faced her. I know I said what I said, but this is important. Don't you believe me? There was only one thing I could say. Yeah, I believe you. Thank you, Jack. I love you. I love you too. And I'm sorry. Don't say you're... Hearing Anna say she was sorry was, for some reason, like a punch to the gut. It tugged at my memory. She always said, I know. But that's not what I'm telling you to remember. You must never remember that woman. Forget all you have left of her. Then, what I want you to recall goes much, much further back. It won't be easy, but when you do, when you remember, our love will be the deepest it's ever been. Don't you want that? I do. I love you. I want that. I want to love you even more. Tell me what I should remember. Anna embraced me with happy tears in her eyes, but she wouldn't tell me what I needed to remember. She said it would be pointless if she told me. I had to remember it all by myself, and ordered me to sit down in front of the alarm clock every day for at least an hour. I was to do this while she was at work. I was to have my eyes closed. I was to try digging back into my memories, far, far back. I did as ordered. But the first time I tried, the very next day, it was all so foggy in my mind that I couldn't even start. Thinking felt slow. It was like walking through molasses. I only made myself tired. Before I fell asleep, sitting up, one last thought came to me. Was thinking always so hard? The second time, too, I gave up right away. I couldn't do it. But I had promised Anna. The next day I tried harder. My head hurt, and I felt like I was groping in the dark, scared and all alone. But I did it. I had promised Anna. I waited further in. A flash of a smile made my chest hurt. But I kept going. For love, huh? Which one did I love? Which one did I hate? Things didn't used to be like this, did they? This feels wrong. Something went terribly wrong. I need to make sense of it. Days later, while going back in my memory, I reached a wall. A dam. I felt I shouldn't try to climb over it, so I didn't. There were things out there I didn't want to see, so I went back to the puddle I'd been searching through. It was a stew of love and fear and hate, given and taken seemingly at random. It was a mess, but it was a mess in my head. I'd make it make sense. Jack! Yes, Anna? Alright, guys, that's the end of Chapter 5. Quite a chapter there. Really a lot going on, a lot to unpack there. So, I just want to do my own take again to review. Jack's been completely brainwashed at this point. And I don't know yet if she actually likes Jack or not. And hear me out here. Again, I'll probably do I talked about a Yandere analysis series and I'll probably do one on this as well, and I'll do one on the Girl with Vegan Eyes, which I might do that one actually soon rather than later because I want to keep my memories fresh of it while I do it. But as for this one, I'm not sure if she likes him or not, because that part where she said the victims, right? Or not the victims, the terminally ill patients. She talked about how she tried to control them and tried to do this to them as well. She might be in love with being in control. Though, there may have been some part in her past where she did have some kind of obsession with Jack. She does have an obsession with Jack. I'm just not sure if it's love. And that's an often fine line with yanderes. There are some yanderes that love the person with a corrupt and twisted, obsessed kind of love, but love nonetheless. And then there's the kind that are purely obsessed, like an item or a thing or a possession. In this case, she seems to want to keep Jack almost like a pet. The only part that kind of throws it off for me is her wanting him to remember. Because that kind of does make it seem almost like not like the pet thing, but she really does seem to want to keep him like a pet. Which is very strange. Not strange for a yandere. Yanderes, that is within their territory. But it's not the love side of the yandere. Like, you know, I mean, like the dere part is kind of missing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think we'll figure out as we go through further in the game. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked the video as much as I enjoyed playing it. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments and the likes. I really appreciate those. And subscribe if you want to see more. Anyhow, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Again, thanks so much. Love you guys. Laters.